Question 2. A family used 2/5 of its monthly income on school fees. 3/4 of the remaining amount was used on family upkeep, while the rest was invested. The family invested 13,500 monthly. Calculate the amount of money the family used on school fees every month. 4 marks. So let's begin. Now the family used 2/5 of the monthly income on school fees. So for the school fees, that one is 2/5. That is the fraction used. Then 3/4 of the remaining amount was used on family upkeep. So for the upkeep, this one is 3/4 of the remaining. 3/4 of the remaining amount. So 3/4 of the remaining. What is the remaining? Now to get the remaining, since we have the fees, the fraction for the fees is 2/5. So we assume the whole amount was 5/5. Then subtract the fees 2/5. This one will give us the remaining fraction. The remaining fraction will be 3/5. So therefore this one will represent the remaining 3/5, and so therefore upkeep will be 3/4 times 3/5, which will give 9/20. So that is for the upkeep. The other question, the family invested, or the rest was invested. The rest was invested. So we need to get the investment amount. What fraction was invested? The rest, that is after using the fees and the upkeep. So we need to get the fees is represented by 2/5, that is a fraction, the fees. Then for the upkeep, 9/20. Now we can use these two to get the remaining. So the whole amount will be represented by a whole number, that is 1. That is the whole amount. Then we subtract the fees and also the upkeep. By this now we'll get the remaining amount, that is after fees and upkeep, and that will give the invested fraction. So we work out these. Will be 1 subtract 2/5 plus 9/20 will give 17/20. Then when you subtract these, 1 subtract 17/20, we get 3/20. So the fraction that represents the investment will be 3/20. So we have the fees, we have the upkeep, and also have the invested. Now we have all the fractions. Now the family invested 13,500 monthly. So 3/20, which is the fraction that represents the investment, that one is equals to 13,500. So given these, calculate the amount of money the family used on school fees every month. Now given that 3/20, we have the fees, let me see again. So 3/20 is equals to 13,500. We're given that. So what about the fraction that represents the fees, which is 2/5? Represent what? So we cross multiply these, we get 2/5 multiply by 13,500. This is how we get it, and then divided by 3/20. So this will be 2 divided by 5 multiply by 13,500, then times 20/3. Now this will give us the amount, and when you work out these using a calculator, 2/5 times 13,500 times 20/3, this will give 36,000 shillings, and that is the amount that was used on school fees.